This book is called Patrol by Walter Dean Myers. The land of the enemy has wide valleys, mountains that stretch along the far horizon, rushing brown rivers and thick green forests. My squad of 9 men are in the forest. Above me, birds twitter nervously in the treetops. Insects and small animals scurry through the underbrush, trying to avoid the crush of my combat boots. The squad leader raises his hand. We stop. The sound of my breath is soft in the morning air. Somewhere in the forest, hidden in the shadows, is the enemy. He knows I have come to kill him. He waits for me. The squad leader signals, and the patrol moves out again. The brush thickens as we head toward our target. The fog, which rolls slowly at the edge of the forest, is beginning to clear. I lift my rifle and begin to rub the palm of my hand slowly along its wooden stock. The weather is hot, but the sweat that runs down my back feels cold. Shots! A firefight! I dive to the ground. My heart beats faster. I lift my rifle and fire into the green forest. Bullets sing and whine over my head. I empty my clip, sending more bullets into the trees, the bushes. In reply, the bark flies from a tree near my head. I think I see the enemy. I reload and shoot again. It is only a shadow, but I do not stop shooting. In war, shadows are enemies too. Why do you think that he says that? Why does he believe that shadows are enemies too? Suddenly, there is silence. We're afraid to move. We're more afraid not to move. Why would he be afraid of the silence? I hear the sounds of the birds again. I wonder if they speak of us from the high branches. I wonder if what they see makes them sad. Do you think you would be sad if you were a bird watching? I am so afraid. I want the enemy to be more afraid. Why would he want the enemy to be more afraid? I want him to tremble more than I tremble. The radio crackles in my hand as I call for the bombs. Crouched against a tree, older than my grandfather, I imagine the enemy crouching against a tree, older than his grandfather. We wait. We wait. Images of those I love come to mind. Still, we wait. Then we are startled by the sound of planes. What do you think is going to happen? We look up at them and see their shadows spreading over the valley's edge toward us. They pass us and do their work. What does he mean by their work? The bombs explode, rumbling like thunder at a distance that is never distant enough. My body shakes. I tell myself that I will not die on this bright day. Against the horizon, columns of blue-gray smoke rise. 2 clicks away, there are flashes of gunfire. 2 clicks in the distance of my enemy. My chest tightens. I wipe my sweaty palms. I bite back my tears. Do you think that he gets scared too? We move again. We are always moving. My legs ache, my shoulders sag, my 1,000 eyes look for death in waving bamboo fields. A village. This is our target. We circle it. We swing around, sweeping our gun sights along the windows in the huts. We rush in behind the hollow booming of grenades. Secure the village, a sergeant calls. He points toward the enemy. The enemy. A brown woman with rivers of age etched deeply into her face. An old man, his eyes heavy with memory. And babies. Babies. Little enemies crying on the mud roads. Little enemies with tears running down dusty cheeks. But I know there are other enemies. They are strong and young. I am strong and young. Do you think this is what he imagined as his enemy? Do you see them as enemies? The others, they are the real enemy. They have dogs that bark at danger, and wooden bowls that hold a day's rice, and grandmothers who stand selling at their huts. This is my enemy. The pickup zone is just beyond a rice paddy. In the paddy, a farmer squats, waiting for the squad to pass. His skin-thick legs disappear into the shallow water, and it looks as if he is 2 grows there. He is the harvest we must understand. A shot! I reach for the ground and scramble for cover. The elephant grass cuts my arms as I slide toward a low wall. Then there is an opening in the tall grass, and I look through. There is the enemy. He is looking at me. We are surprised to see each other. Shocked! How young he is. We stare across the distance. I know he wants me to lift my rifle, to be the enemy. I want him to lift his rifle. I want him to turn away. In a heartbeat, we have learned too much about each other. What do you think he means by this? That they have learned too much by each other? The putt-putt of the chopper interrupts the moment. The enemy turns away and is swallowed by the lush grass that is everywhere in this land. I lift my rifle. I aim at the distant shadow. I am the enemy. I lower the rifle. My fingers clutch the webbing of the chopper. It strains the weight of the squad. Below us, the land becomes a peaceful patchwork of greens and blues and browns. This land has wide valleys, mountains that stretch along the far horizon, rushing brown rivers, and thick green forests. And war. We land. I am glad that I am alive. As the heat of day passes to the heat of night, I write a letter to someone I love. Who do you think that could be? I wonder if my enemy is writing a letter. Do you think his enemy has people that he loves too? I am so tired. I'm so very tired of this war. The end.